Oh, I can see you now. You can hear me?
I can see you and I can hear you.
Oh, great. Okay, well, Nnamdi, first I have to tell you that the last time that I interviewed you was about 15 years ago.
Oh boy. Good to see you again.
Yes, you too. Let me ask you first, how difficult is it to learn to play the saxophone?
Wow, what that's a great opening. I played, luckily for me, I played the clarinet when I was a little kid, just for a little bit, but I understood sort of fingering and like how to use the reed and everything like that. So it wasn't that crazy for me. I played the saxophone for a little over a year for this role, but it wasn't that crazy for me.
Was there anything about playing the sax, a technique of improvisation that you can liken to being a cornerback?
I think just in general, the cornerback position is like jazz. I don't know if it's like the sax, but I think it's like jazz. I always used to say that a good corner knows how to dance because that's what you're doing the entire game, and it is improvisational, and it is going off of a feeling. You can have technique, but there's a moment in there where you just have to go off of what you feel and sort of move in that direction. So I don't know if it's specifically saxophone, but definitely jazz. There's a jazz element to being a cornerback in the NFL.
Is there a similarity of preparing to act that notes you went over or how you mentally prepared for a game?
Whether it was getting ready for a game or it was after a game, there was a journal that I kept. I call it a journal, but I think the thing that's transferred over, even in acting and making films, is I start every project a little bit unsure. And then I get the journaling and I start to do the work and the process and the studying. And by the time that it's time to go, the confidence level is super high. So I think that's the thing that crosses over.
Is this a time of year around the Super Bowl that you do get some excitement or anxiety, or what goes through you during the Super Bowl?
It doesn't matter how long I've been out, I still think about it. You know, it's a game that I miss. It's a game that I love and that I played for so long. And when the Super Bowl comes up, it's one of those things that I didn't get to participate in.
Well, I mean, you were a treasure to watch, right? I mean, when they say lockdown corner, it's your name after it. But what do you make of Tom Brady? I mean, you played against him.
I did. I mean, the first game of my third year, we were playing against the Patriots, and Tom went to Michigan, and I was starting at one corner, and the other corner was Charles Woodson. Charles went to Michigan. Tom didn't throw at Charles one time in the entire game. I mean, I think the first five passes were in my direction, and it was really like the moment that I grew up in the league. It was like, oh, Tom Brady is challenging me, and of course he would. And I remember just sort of being like, well, if you can play this way against a team like that, and it's Tom Brady, then that's important. And so now that I watch him and he's still going and he's 40 something years old, and he keeps getting counted out, but he keeps making it to the end. You have to celebrate that. And I think now that I'm done playing, I can root for him.
If you had the choice to win a Super Bowl or an Academy Award, which would it be?
Yeah, I would say the Super Bowl, and the reason I say the Super Bowl um, is because it's something that I can no longer achieve. So I tend to do this. I guess I don't. I guess not everyone else tends to do this, but I tend to think about the things that I haven't achieved as opposed to the things that I have achieved, which I really need to get out of that way of thinking. But that's one of them. It's you get in the sport to win the Super Bowl.
Nnamdi, you've been just spectacular, and to quote a line, why you're one of the most extraordinary people I've ever met.
Thank you very much, Leslie. I appreciate it.
Did I get the line right?
You absolutely did. From Silver Glove, you absolutely did.